So hi, I'm Matthias Hansson.
And Tuukka Koskinen.
We are the co-founders of Zervant. In practice, our service provides a complete tool for a small business. So you can do your invoicing, bookkeeping, track expenses, income, and you basically keep track of all your financials in a single package. And we're going to talk a little bit about pitching and getting investments. We have, during the last 2 years, raised around 1 million euros in funding for our company, and continue to do pitching every month. Yes, we have raised funding, and actually by pitching quite a lot. During the first 6 months of our history, even before we had any operational work going, we did quite a lot of pitching. For 6 months we went pitching, and what we realized during this period, of course, that getting funded and getting investments is a combination of different things. A great idea is not good enough, unfortunately. You need a compelling story, you need a capable team of executing on your idea, and you also need market feedback. So you need to test your business idea very early. You need to talk to potential customers, you need to talk to potential partners, you need to talk to investors and government funding and so forth. So it's when you get all of these pieces in place, your success rate goes up kind of like a hockey stick in that sense. If you come with a great idea but you don't have the ecosystem around it, it's going to be pretty difficult to get funding, and that's something we learned during the first 6 months of our history.
And what we learned as well was that there was always some questions that we couldn't answer while we were pitching, and then the questions came and we couldn't answer. And we always took those, put them on the board, and then we found out what we should answer to these questions. And it was like a long list in the beginning, and it's shorter and shorter. And at the current moment, when we were pitching just like an hour ago, we got only one question that we couldn't answer with a good answer. So it's getting better and better.
Yeah, I think if we talk about pitching overall, I think it's one of the best tools for developing your business plan or your business idea. So you start off with something, you go pitching. Is it then for to customers or investors? You get the feedback, and then you can improve. You have to listen carefully, improve your idea, improve your business plan, and it kind of becomes a tool. Actually, that's how we use pitching. Yeah. And I think we pitch probably in the beginning once a week. We went somewhere pitching our story, and we always got better and better, and after a while then we got funding in place. How do you know if your idea is good enough and if your product is good enough? And I think the easiest answer to that question is really just go and ask your customer. Go and try to sell it to a customer. You don't need a product, you need an idea, just a sales pitch, and go and sell it to a potential customer. If the customer buys it, then you're pretty lucky because you have a sellable product, and then you have to go back home and build it. But if not, it's really kind of simple to just ask why they don't want to buy it, or what would they change, what do you want to change in it so they could maybe buy it. And if you only ask your potential customer or partner, they will actually tell you what they want and what they need. So I think that's probably the easiest way. Just ask your customer, is this a good product or not? Would they buy it? And I think for us, it was a long process. If you take the idea, well, we tested it. We talked earlier about that we actually went pitching. We talked to a lot of different organizations, a lot of different potential customers, and tested the idea. And that gave us kind of it became a tool for us to start believing more and more in our own business story, in our business plan, and our product idea. So it was really kind of a critical thing for us that we got the feedback from the market and they believed in us, and then we had the courage to kind of move forward and actually get the investments in and start building what we were selling.
In the beginning, it was really a tool for the first 4 months. We got so much feedback, so we actually really knew what we have to do for the product, so it will be good for these people. So for the 4 months we were developing the software more than actually in the last year, because it was really like going into the tunnel and really polishing and finalizing the product. And then we talked with Matthias in June, and we said, have you noticed that there is not so many support tickets coming in anymore about the new features and so on, and people seem to be like thinking that okay, most of the things are, and there's only a couple of teams left, and then we really move to the next phase, which is the phase that we are at the current moment, trying to get more and more customers using it and trying to find all these channels to get lots of customers because we believe in the product.
Yeah, I think kind of the learning of the story here is that the product's probably never going to be ready, but throw it out to the customers in a really early phase.
Yeah.
The customer actually tell you what they want and what they need, and then just listen to them, say no to some people, say yes to some people, and then implement what they are asking for. So it's kind of this lean startup model. Throw it out, don't be afraid.
Yeah.
And really a large market or all the customers out there, if they can be involved in developing the product, you will end up with a much better product that they will love in the end.
Yeah. There is one rule that we have actually followed in the customer feedback and the customer support side of things as well. That maybe we get this customer asking for a feature or something like that in January 2011. Now, for example, last week I solved one of the customer tickets that was sent to us in February, saying that, well, I know that it has been a long time, but now we have the feature that you followed. So every time that you ask for feedback for the customer, listen to it and always reply, even though it will be maybe 15 months later that you will say that now it is there, now you could use our product, and so on. This is something that is crucial for these people to get the feeling that this company is really trying to do and achieve something with their product. It's easier to get funded if you are not only thinking about the money, but you also have to think about who should invest in your company. Because from the investors you will get valuable feedback and connections to other people that can bring lots of things to your company. They can bring obviously the expertise, but they also can bring connections to other people, and they can be in your board, they can help you with lots of things. And you have to also think about, even in the first seed round that you are doing, that maybe you will do the next round. Maybe it will be the actual first round that you will have to raise 2 million. Will this investor be helpful to your company even in that point? And what should happen in this case?
Yeah, I think in most of the cases people think about, when they think about investors, they think about money. But as you said, it's one part of the whole package. It's a person you're probably gonna be working with very closely for the next years. So you need to also kind of make sure that the chemistry with the person is working well. What can they bring to the table? And it's really a long-term relationship when you're building. It's not like getting money in and hey, goodbye. It's like you actually work with them and closely with them, and the more they can bring to the table, the better. So, of course, often in Finland, when you're really pitching an idea or you're pitching an early startup, it might be difficult to have a lot of choices. So you have to maybe go just for the money. And of course, that's better than nothing. But if you have a choice, then you definitely need to look at these other aspects that Tuukka was talking about here. If I could, as a summary, give one advice to the viewers, I would say test your business plan or idea as early as possible. Test it with the markets, so customers, partners. Test it with investors. Test it with your friends. Anybody that's around it. Talk about it. Don't be afraid that anybody can steal your idea, because it's really a process of developing your idea when you talk to different people. So get it out there. Talk about it much earlier than you actually think you can do.
Yeah. And don't fall in love with the idea, the original idea, too much before talking to lots of people.
Listen carefully what they say on the feedback. Thanks.